What is good, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to Knicks Media. The New York Knicks take care of business on the road in Charlotte and win this one 113-92 without Julius Randle and without OG Anunoby, who was a scratch right before the game began with a right elbow inflammation. We got to see what this Knicks team looks like without two of the best players in the starting lineup, Julius Randle and OG Anunoby. It was an ugly first half. It was a first half Knicks fans don't want to remember. But then that third quarter, the New York Knicks exploded, putting up 44 points. Jalen Brunson does his usual thing. Donte DiVincenzo steps up. Josh Hart crashing the rebounds. Deuce McBride off the bench. And MSG South, you can call it, down in Charlotte. Knicks fans representing down in Charlotte, calling MVP chants for Jalen Brunson at the line. Let's go Knicks chants. Booing the Hornets players at the free throw line. Knicks fans basically took over that arena. Man, oh man, our vibes immaculate for these New York Knicks. Guys, right before I get into my thoughts, I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section from this Knick W over the Charlotte Hornets, getting our 30th victory of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. The Knicks are now 30-17 on the year, 13 games over 500. Guys, sound off in the comments. How are you feeling about this win in particular for the New York Knicks? And also, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button for your boy and subscribe to Knicks Media. We are trying to hit a goal of 12,000 subs by the NBA playoffs. Help your boy out. Let's freaking go. All right, let's get into business here, because the first half was definitely kind of like a self-discovery, if you will, for this Knicks team. First time without Julius Randle all season long, and first time without OG since the trade. So the Knicks starting lineup consisted of Precious Achiuwa and Josh Hart plugging in there for the New York Knicks. And I feel like, they just did not have any offense, right? Jalen Brunson didn't start off the game red hot like his usual self, and the Knicks were just pretty much ice cold from three-point land, right? Their defense was still playing good. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves here. The Charlotte Hornets are literally one of the worst teams in the NBA, and they're also banged up with injuries. So let's not pretend like they didn't just verse one of the worst teams in the NBA, but this is still something to talk about, because the Knicks are injured, and we blew the doors off of them in the second half, because that just shows you great teams beat up on bad teams, and that's what the New York Knicks have done all season long. And it was cool to see that the Knicks kind of went into this halftime, and you can only imagine what Tom Thibodeau had to tell this Knicks team. Like, all right, it was almost like they came together, and they're like, okay, Let's get back to our roots here and play New York Knicks basketball. And that's exactly what they did in the third quarter, outscoring the Hornets 44-24. And then Jalen Brunson literally took over that third quarter. As you could see from the highlights here, courtesy of our guy on X, IQ4 tag with the highlights. We appreciate your edits always. 32 points for Jalen Brunson, 7 dimes, 4 rebounds, 13 of 24 from the field, and a plus-minus of a +20. Jalen Brunson could potentially really elevate himself into the MVP conversations. And the reason why I say that is because he is going to have to carry this offense even more without Julius Randle. And we saw what he can do tonight. Got to give a big shout out to Donte DiVincenzo as well. We talked about it earlier today on Knicks Media on the live show, talking about the Julius Randle injury news that he's going to be out. And I was talking about OG Anunoby having a really big opportunity with Julius Randle's injury to solidify himself as the secondary scorer next to Jalen Brunson. Well, OG was down in this game, and Donte DiVincenzo was the man to step up. 28 points for Donte DiVincenzo, 6 boards, 5 assists, 10 of 22 from the field, 5 3-pointers to be exact, a plus-minus of a +24, which led the starting 5 for the Knicks. I mean, Donte is so smooth. That's how I like to just break down his game. He is one of my favorite players on the Knicks. He plays buttery smooth. And what I mean by that is he just plays so calm and collected. He pulls up from 3. He's getting into the passing lanes. When he's dribbling the ball, just has the ball in a string. He just feels so poised. And I just love everything about Devo. What a signing from Leon Rose in the offseason for the New York Knicks. He's just a winner. You can tell that the guy is just a winning piece. He plugged into the squad, and he has been an absolutely amazing Knick. And it's cool to see him kind of step up in a game where we need big-time offense next to Jalen Brunson, right? We have Brunson getting his usual 32 points, but we need someone next to him to fill in for Julius Randle. And that was freaking Donte DiVincenzo. So shout out to Donte. You also got to give a shout out to to Precious Achiuwa. He played a lot of minutes in this one. 32 minutes starting at the 4 for the New York Knicks. He had 9 points, 5 rebounds, playing really good defense. I mean, I saw Precious Achiuwa locking people up down low. He even hit a three-pointer, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, Precious, stretching the floor, and I got to admit it. Wasn't a big fan of Precious Achiuwa when we first got him, but hey, it took him a little bit to figure himself out, and now he's going to have a bigger role with this Knicks team with Julius Randle out for the foreseeable future until he comes back with the shoulder injury, of course. So got to give a shout out to Precious Achiuwa. Big time 32 minutes from him. Isaiah Hartenstein only played 16 minutes, his second game back after the injury, so the Knicks are easing him in. Josh Hart, 12 big rebounds to lead the Knicks, which I freaking love. We don't have Julius Randle anymore. There's no Mitchell Robinson. All right, Josh Hart. He's our big man, basically, leading the Knicks. The only Knick in double figures for rebounds, 12 rebounds to be exact, 7 assists for Josh Hart. Basically, the utility man. Josh Hart starting with this team. He is doing everything the Knicks need to do outside of scoring. We don't need to rely on Josh Hart to score. Don't worry. We got Brunson. We got Devo. We got guys off the bench to score. Josh Hart's role with this Knicks team is crashing the rebounds, pushing the pace, playing hard-nosed defense, facilitating the rock, getting the Knicks out in transition, and that's exactly what Josh Hart did tonight. Got to give another shout out to Deuce McBride. I mean, there was a sequence, folks, that I saw from Deuce McBride that was locked down. He was going above every screen, forced a turnover, kicked it up for a transition, and then he got into the three in the corner, and I'm pretty sure Josh Hart dished it to him for a wide-open three. And that sequence for Deuce McBride gets Knicks fans giddy because the development of Deuce has been spectacular to watch. His defense is 5-star. We already know what Deuce McBride brings to the defense, but his offense has been a joy to watch. 11 points off the bench for Deuce McBride. Big-time minutes from him. And then also got to give a shout out to Jericho Sims. Jericho Sims at 23 minutes off the bench, 6 points, 7 rebounds, 3 of 3 from the field, playing good defense, putting the ball on the floor with the offensive rebounds, putting it back up. Alley-oops. We saw that Deuce McBride, like half-court alley-oop, basically. So Jericho Sims making big-time impactful minutes off the bench. Quentin Grimes did not have a great game, 3 of 11 from the field, but that's okay. So the New York Knicks take care of business in the first game without Randle, and this one without OG. Let's hope OG is going to be okay. Right now, he's day-to-day. We shall see if he's going to play tomorrow night. Apparently, he re-aggravated that elbow injury for pregame warm-ups. I mean, he did have that injury still in Miami. I remember when the Knicks were versing the Heat on Saturday, he was on the bench icing up that right elbow. So let's hope OG's okay and we can go out there back home now. The Knicks are back home for 6 straight games. So these are really important stretches of games right now. And the fact that the Knicks were able to get the job done and win in convincing fashion after a terrible first half, blowing the doors open in the third quarter. The Hornets were coming back in the fourth quarter a little bit, but hey, the Knicks are not going to leave Charlotte without a W. Shout out to every Knicks fan that showed up to Charlotte. Let's freaking go, Knicks. The vibes are high. Comment down below your thoughts. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the video. Let's keep rolling, baby. Let's keep rolling. Go New York. Go New York. Go. Peace out, everybody.